It was their first one-on-one debate, and it was live right here on WOOD TV8. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sterling. Abdul El-Sayed and Congresswoman Haley Stevens were in our studio tonight. The two Democrats hoping to win their party's nomination for the U.S. Senate. It is a race that is being watched closely across the country. News 8's Amber Kriska live in studio tonight with a recap of this evening's debate.
Brian, a little back and forth at times, and even political reporter and moderator Rick Albin went off script in the middle of the debate to let the two address what was going on, and that was about money.
It is time for our first question.
Two Democrats with very different views on a number of topics. Those divisions were on display. Congresswoman Haley Stevens going right after Abdul El-Sayed, saying his campaign was propped up by Republicans who are hoping to make it easier for the Republican U.S. Senate nominee, Mike Rogers.
We do not need a celebrity senator. We need a workhorse.
This is how El-Sayed responded.
We also don't need politicians bought off by corporations.
When it comes to the war in Iran,
for too long, our foreign policy has been handed to us by the likes of the State of Israel and AIPAC, who has made sure that Democrats and Republicans are doing their bidding.
The difference between my opponent and myself on this issue is that I believe in a two-state solution. I can say that Israel has a right to peacefully exist alongside the people of Palestine and in Gaza. It is very clear that Mr. Netanyahu has not made us safer, has not brought us closer to peace.
On the future of the Democratic Party,
it won't shift if we continue to elect leaders who take money from the same corporations who have broken with the interests of the American public.
If you want to stop Trump, I'm your gal.
And during the middle of the debate,
I want to give you 30 seconds, and I want to give you 30 seconds to pursue whatever this is that's going on here. Obviously, you've got a question about some of the money in her campaign. You've got a question about some of the money in his pocket. Yeah. 30 seconds, go.
Well, look, my opponent wants to make this race about lies and attacking my integrity and the work that I have done for the people of Michigan. Look, I was the person from Michigan on the team working on President Obama's auto rescue. I have a proven track record that I am proud of fighting for this state, standing up to special interests, and I have 15 labor unions standing alongside me in this fight and some other proven individuals as well. So can we stop the lies, and can we get the transparency out that my opponents long talked about?
I'd love to stop the lies that are being told on TV by organizations like the Center for Democratic Priorities, which, by the way, didn't exist until it started to run ads for my opponent. Like the United Democratic Progressives, which, by the way, is a front for AIPAC. Like Center Forward, which bought airline tickets for my opponent, for her mother and herself to go to Portugal. I don't know what they talked about. I don't know what they did. So if we want to talk about lies, I think it's really important for us to understand who's paying for them and what was said on the back end to allow them to be told. Because $40 million, it doesn't come for free.
The stakes are high. They are competing for a chance to take on Republican Mike Rogers in November. He lost to Alyssa Slotkin in 2024. The last Republican to win an election for U.S. Senate in Michigan was in 1994. Brian.
All right, Amber, thank you. Moderator of the debate tonight, WOOD TV8 political reporter Rick Albin joins us now live. And Rick, great job tonight keeping everyone on track. What was your takeaway as you've had now a couple of hours to digest?
Well, I think you had two very well-prepared candidates who came in here understanding that this might be their last best chance to get this broad of an audience. Remember, it wasn't just on WOOD TV, it was on our sister station in Lansing, our partners in Detroit, and all around the state. So everybody who wanted to see what these two candidates look like side by side had a pretty good chance to do it tonight. It wasn't lost on either one of them. They showed up here at our studios and they were ready to tell the voters in Michigan where they stood and try to point out the differences in their style and also in their positions. I think on balance, they did a pretty good job doing that. We did see a little back and forth from time to time, but certainly it's far from one of the most difficult debates that we've ever seen. In fact, I think both of these candidates came here with a purpose. I think both of them had a message they wanted to get out, and I think by and large they did that. Now, the question is, how does that message land? What will people think? We won't know until early August. Voting has already started, but we won't know those outcomes until that election night when it rolls around. And then the race is really on as we head into November in what you said earlier will be one of the most watched U.S. Senate races in the country.
Yeah, Rick, and real quickly, at that moment where you stopped the debate a little bit and let them pick up where they were kind of having a discussion, talk about that moment. Why'd you choose that?
Well, it just felt like that we weren't getting to the point. I didn't think that they were completing their thoughts. It sounded like they both had a grievance with the other, and I thought I'd give them the opportunity to at least air it out. And if there was anything to follow up on, we would. It didn't turn into much, although they did both go back and forth at each other a little bit. But it was really my attempt to just try to, if they had something they wanted to say, let's get to it.
Absolutely. All right, Rick, stay put. We'll be checking with you in just a little minute. Our debate night coverage does pick up in 2 minutes from now. We'll take you into the spin room. Stay with us.